Good evening, everybody. How are we doing for this YouTube exclusive for the On Ropes podcast? I'm John. I'm riding solo tonight. And guys, coming up on February 18th in upstate New York, Immortal Championship Wrestling makes their return for their first show of 2023 with Immortal Kombat 4. And to talk about all about that tonight is the guy who basically you can say is the man behind the operations, the one, the only Mr. Mike King. Mike, how you doing tonight, sir?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you on. So for people who may not know, how did you start Immortal? How did you get connected with Immortal?
How did I get connected? I started out in the business in 2016. I had another promotion. I had a business partner, Dynasty Pro Wrestling, and that we ended up parting ways in 2018, and Immortal was started.
So basically, you've been there since basically day one, to put it
yes,
possible.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Immortal was my vision, my boys' visions, and we ran with it, and here we are today.
So now, fast forward now, obviously, like I mentioned, you have Immortal Kombat 4 happening next Saturday. Being that it's a week, basically at the time of this recording, it's like a week and some change ahead of the show. What's your thoughts going into it before we go and look at some of the matches?
Online ticket sales and ticket sales in general have been really hot for this show, so I'm super excited. We should have a pretty hot crowd, and like I said, first show of the year too is always good. It was nice though to have that extended break, just a little refresher, because I mean it's stressful to run a show in New York State. It really is. There's so much. You got to jump through hoops with insurances and everything else, ambulance, doctor, and it's very stressful. Very costly.
I've been to enough shows already between New York and New Jersey, and I see promoters. I'm surprised promoters still have some of their hair left on their head.
Well, yeah, and if you notice, a lot of the promoters are jumping ship and like running in Massachusetts and Vermont because you don't need all that. So that's saving you $3,000 a show.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you on that. But I want to look at some of the matches, and first match I want to look at was actually somebody who we just had on a previous YouTube exclusive, your Northeast champion, Garrett Holiday.
Oh yeah, Garrett and Nick Sullivan. Yeah, there's some bad blood there. Last show of the year, they were scheduled to have a match, and it didn't even happen. Nick attacked Garrett from behind in the entrance, and all hell broke loose.
Yeah, because like I said, when we had Garrett on, he kind of hinted at that this matchup was more of respect and more of he felt that Nick kind of tried to get an opportunity when he shouldn't have.
I don't know if he shouldn't have the opportunity. I mean, Nick is one of the top guys in our promotion and things. I mean, he had an injury. He broke his nose in a match and was out for a few months and things, but then he came back stronger, and he's a beast. He really is. I mean, hats off to Garrett for stepping up and even taking the match. I mean, Nick is an animal. I wouldn't want to see him at night in a dark alley, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I kind of got that hint talking to Garrett. And folks, if you like to go watch that Garrett Holiday interview, you can go over to our YouTube page. It's up there. It's also on our podcast side as well. You're definitely going to want to listen to that interview because it's, in my opinion, one of the better interviews that has been done on this channel. But back to the other matches.
Well, this match too, though, one thing special about this match is it's a lumberjack match. So they're going to be sure to keep this in the ring. Otherwise, obviously, you know what goes on with a lumberjack match. One of them gets thrown out on the wrong side, and all hell's going to break loose. So hopefully it stays inside the ring, because that's why I made that stipulation, because last show they were fighting outside the ring, inside the ring, outside the ring, and we just threw the match out. We didn't even get the match started.
Well, that hopefully the Lumberjacks will be able to contain them.
Well, that's the whole idea. Hopefully.
But one of the other matches I want to look at is your tag team championship match. It's their first title defense with the team of Blaze Haram and Bin Hameen. What's your thoughts about them being your tag team champions?
My thoughts on that? Are you familiar with Ben Hameen?
I've spoken to Ben Hameen and I have seen Blaze wrestle.
Okay, so you know where they're coming from and where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So I mean, Power Supply definitely has their work cut out for them. I mean, they're two hungry up and comer guys, Adam Stone and Marcus Seal, and but they're going to have their hands full. Ben and Blaze are the real deals, especially Ben. You don't know what kind of tricks he pulls out of his sleeve every show.
Yeah, we had him on this network, God, probably 2 months ago, I think it was. I think it was right around the time when they initially won the belts. Was when we had him.
Okay. Yeah, he's a treat.
And I was fortunate enough to see Blaze wrestle down in Jersey for Titan Championship Wrestling, and yeah, I noticed as soon as he came out, all of a sudden the boos started to come with it. So
those two by far get the most heat in my company.
But I also want to look now at your women's champion, Kayla Sparks.
Yes.
Defense on the 18th. What's your thoughts going into this one?
Well, this is going to be one of her tougher challenges to date. Other than, I mean, she's had quite a few. We've given her a lot of quality opponents, from Serena Deeb, and she's faced quite a few. Nevaeh, not Nevaeh, Davian. Jeez, sorry, Davian. Sorry. Who else? Oh yeah, Trisha Dora, which that was a hell of a match with those two. And then to win the belt, she beat Karen Bam. Are you familiar with Bam at all? Or
yes, I've heard of.
So I mean, Kayla was quite the underdog and pulled the upset, and she's run with it since.
Yeah, but I mean, she's been through, especially when you can go through somebody like Serena Deeb, who's on AEW right now. It really shows what type of wrestler you are.
Yeah, that was quite the match, actually. Serena got disqualified because she wouldn't stop striking Kayla after the match, so we had to disqualify her. And then a brawl broke out backstage, and yeah, it was quite heated back there.
Wonderful. Also, hold on, I actually had the match card on here. Just give me 1 second. But again, folks, Immortal Championship Wrestling returns with Immortal Kombat 4. I just want to pull up the other matches here because I drew a blank on some of the other matches that are happening. And hold on 1 second here, folks. I do apologize.
I have the card in front of me if you'd like to make it a little easier for you.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
All right. Well, obviously, our champ, big time Bill Collier, is going to be main eventing against Spencer Slade. And it's Spencer's debut, but he was just recently, I think, a couple times on AEW. He's going to be his toughest challenge to date, really. I mean, it's his first title defense too, but I mean, he's got his hands full. I asked him who he wanted to face, and Spencer Slade was top of his list, so I made it happen. They're no strangers to one another, so they're going to tear the house down on this match.
Yeah, it seems like from what I've seen and some of the stuff I've seen about both of them, it seems like they will definitely put on a good match.
Oh, for sure. I think that's match of the night candidate for sure.
And then I know actually somebody who I'm very familiar with, Anthony Gingone, Dr. Sleep.
Yes, we just added him to the card. I'm excited to have him back.
I've seen him wrestle in the year and a half that the show's been around. I think I've seen him wrestle 8 or 9 times now.
Yeah, he's very, very talented. I'm shocked he isn't signed somewhere, to be honest with you.
There's a few of them who I'm surprised are still in
the game. There's by far a lot. I don't know maybe his height, but still, he is so good. You can look beyond that, you know?
Mm-hmm. When you look at somebody like Anthony, he is somebody who can be both a good guy and he can play both sides very well. Because, like I said, I noticed that when he took on actually somebody else from the Schenectady area, Rick Recon.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Pretty recent. And I noticed that Recon came into the match as the bad guy, Anthony came in as the good guy, and he played it perfectly.
Yeah, he's very versatile. I mean, like I say, he's a superstar. He really is. And are you familiar with his opponent, Chael Connors? He's a young up-and-comer from the Buffalo area.
I've seen some of his stuff on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Chael. Jesus, Sarin Rain. I looked down there now. I'm sorry, Sarin Rain. But that's another one who, the other guy's one of the ones from up that area, too, that I mentioned. Good thing I got my son in the other room keeping me straight here.
I've seen quite a bit of them on YouTube.
Yes.
So I've seen a lot of their stuff. It's some pretty good stuff. And one thing I'll say when it comes to independent wrestling, you get better action at an indie show than sometimes you get on a WWE or an AEW show.
Well, these guys are hungry. You know, I think what happens in the big leagues, as I call it, is you know, they're there. So why do they have to give it their all every night? You know, I think what happens is after so many repetitions, like say after being on the road 5 days, you're like, I'm not going to give it my all tonight, you know? Mm-hmm. Where these guys, you know, they're wrestling just on the weekends and things, and they got something to prove because they want to get to that level. So, I mean, they're giving it 110% every night.
I'll put it this way. It's like if you look at college sports, for example, a lot of time college sports are more exciting to watch than.
Oh, for sure. No, I definitely agree.
Because they don't get paid the amount that these ball players get or football players get paid. And it's the same. It's literally, it may sound weird to some people, but if you look at it, it's basically like sports is here, wrestling is here. It's like parallel to each other.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I said, these guys, some of them are making millions. Well, other guys are making next to nothing, and they're trying to get to that next level. So that's why every time out, they got something to prove, whether it's to some new fans or, you know, just getting their name out there. Like somebody be like, wow, I've never seen these two guys wrestle before. They're really good. And then they start following them, you know, we got a lot of young guys that are hungry, that are super talented. We really do.
Oh, yeah.
It's exciting to see what the future holds for a lot of these guys.
Honestly, if it was me with what's going on right now in both WWE and AEW, I would personally rather stay in the independents as long as I can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because you see a lot of these guys who have promising careers in the indies, and also they get signed by WWE or an AEW.
And they're in a standstill.
Yeah. And then they become the biggest joke because when WWE still had their 24/7 title, all of a sudden it was like, well, we don't know what we're going to do with you. We'll just have you be part of this group that runs around for this title.
Yeah. Or the other thing, they just have so much talent, they don't know what to do with them.
Exactly. And I see that a lot watching wrestling because we go to a lot of shows in New Jersey. And I see that a lot in the shows in New Jersey, that you see a lot of these wrestlers who, to me, should be on at AEW or WWE. But to me, it's like, why would you want to leave where you are right now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got a bigger spotlight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes, granted, it's a bigger spotlight.
In front of, I mean, some places only draw 50 and things, but I mean, we average like 3 to 4 a show. And, but I mean, think about it, going from 300 to 400 to 10,000, you know, it's
a big
jump.
Adrenaline
and everything. Yeah, it's a huge jump.
But also on the flip side, how many times, I mean, great example of this is the former WWE superstar Lars Sullivan, who had a very promising upbringing, you know, going through the rankings, all of a sudden got to the main roster and ended up having to quit the company because of that.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't wrestle at all.
No, I don't. It's crazy. Yeah, it's a crazy business. It really is. And it's very cutthroat, which I found out the hard way, but I mean, I my philosophy is I treat everybody like family. Anybody that wrestles for Immortal, they're part of the family.
I I
Whether
got
they've
that.
wrestled once or every show that we've had, I still consider them family.
Because even like the fans, a lot of the fans, well, not saying a lot, but as far as the fans that I know of Immortal have said that as well, that it's like a family atmosphere at any of
Oh,
the shows.
definitely. Like I'm out there throughout the show, seeing if people are having a good time and everything. And when the show's over, I'm at the door making sure people had a good time.
Yeah,
Because if not, I wanna fix it with why they didn't have a good time. But so far, so good. I've never heard somebody say, I didn't really, So
well, I'll put it this way: uh, I'm making the trip all the way down from Long Island for the show on the 18th.
you won't be disappointed, I
All right,
promise.
I'm looking. Honestly, obviously I've heard about Immortal a lot just by in all the Facebook groups I'm in. But honestly, the biggest reason why is going to a lot of shows because I go to a lot of shows in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, and I'm not calling them out, so to speak. But when you go to the same building every month, twice every month, it gets stale after a while. You're seeing the same thing. So I figure now it's time, especially with this show, to start going to other areas. And so it's also going to be my first time actually seeing an upstate New York crowd
Oh
compared
wow,
to
great.
a New Jersey crowd.
Yeah, and this show too is also a fundraiser for the local youth center, the St. Johnsville Youth Center, which makes it even more special. I actually help out down there. My 5-year-old daughter just started basketball this year, so I helped out down there with that. But going back years, I played basketball there for many a years, and I even coached there for a few years for them when they needed a coach back in the day. So I'm pretty excited about that. We actually have a battle royal that's in honor of Jim Carter, who was a big part of the youth center in the community that passed away a few years back. So we're going to carry on his legacy with this match in honor of him, which I'm pretty excited for.
Now, with that battle royal, is that going to be a yearly thing now, or?
It actually may. I was trying to alternate it between the firemen one year and the youth center, but the youth center really stepped up this year with like pushing ticket sales and getting sponsors. So I think it could be definitely an annual event for them.
Hey, it's especially with that area, I could see it working out very well for you guys.
And the nice thing with that too, I only got to tow a trailer about 6 miles down the road.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
So I mean, I could run there all the time. It wouldn't break my heart.
Hey, that's not bad at all. I mean,
No, because there's some nights where we pull in the driveway, like 1:32 in the morning, and you're just like totally drained, and then you got to unhook the trailer and all that fun stuff.
oh yeah, but I mean, looking at all the matches that are on this card, in your opinion, what match do you think could be possibly match of the night?
I gotta say Spencer and Bill. I mean, there's a lot on here though. That I mean, you got Gangone and Soren, Kelsey and Kayla, even, and Nick and Garrett. Jeez. I mean, if you like a big house fight, I mean, we got Brute Van Slyke and Vince Valor. I mean, that they're just going to beat the snot out of one another. When it comes right down, maybe technical wrestling, and also though you got Mike Skyros is on the card too. He's going against Slade, who got breakout superstar of the year. So he's hungry. That's why Mike wanted to give a match to one of the hungry guys on the roster to see what he's made of.
Yeah, and I mean, after speaking with Garrett, I'm looking forward to his match specifically.
Oh, that's going to be a brawl.
Just not only that, but I think there's going to be a good story being told because I'm very big in storytelling.
Yep.
And I feel like with that match, but I feel like with that match, I think you're going to get a lot of storytelling in it, and it's going to make sense.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, for sure.
Now, I got a couple last questions here.
Sure.
For people who may never have seen an Immortal show, okay, and they want to go back and watch some of the older material, what match would you suggest for them to go see?
What do you think would be the best match to go back and or a couple? What do you think? I'm asking my son over here. Yeah, bear with us 1 second. He wants to just check a little content to make sure before we push something, and then you go on the channel and you're like, oh no, it's not up here. King's Ransom match from Halloween Havoc 3, he said, was one of his favorites.
Okay. Just so definitely, folks, definitely go check that out.
Yeah, we had the Neon Blondes in a mixed tag. Yeah, in a mixed tag. That was good. There's been some Skyros and Dango. Oh yeah, Skyros and Richard Holiday. That was Mike Skyros's breakout match. I mean, he just 31 minute long on YouTube. The video is, but that really, I think, elevated Mike to the next level. I think he needed that, somebody to really push him and show him what he actually had. And wow, he's just took the momentum from that match and ran with it. I mean, he was our heavyweight champion until Dirty Dango kind of robbed him from that. But
and folks, in case you want to see any of these matches, the in the description below this video will be a link to the Immortal Championship Wrestling's YouTube page. So all you just got to do is click the link below.
Yeah, we have a lot of content up there. So.
Mm-hmm. So you can definitely go check that out there and check out and support all independent wrestling, because guys, you go to an independent show and you may sit there and go, oh, why am I going to go here? It may only have 20 people in the crowd, but you may be seeing somebody who in 3 or 4 years might end up in WWE.
Exactly. Well, that's the hardest part, is getting a wrestling fan to even consider coming to an indie show. This is what I usually tell people. I always tell them, I promise you'll have a better time than at the E, or I'll give you your money back. That's who does that?
Nobody. But folks, also, as somebody like me, I've been to quite a few shows, and down in Baltimore, Maryland. I was up in Albany for the Hall of Fame. So I've been everywhere when it comes to shows. Folks, when you look at independent wrestling, 9 times out of 10, the wrestling is better.
Guys are hungry.
Like we said that before. The guys are hungrier, but not only that, it's not like, especially if you're watching at home, like on IWTV or Title Match Network or whatever, it's not like they have to sit there and go, okay, well, we have to go to commercial break here or something like that. A lot of times they're told beforehand how they want the finish to be, but 9 times out of 10, the wrestlers in the ring call it in the ring. So you're going to get much better wrestling.
No, I agree 100%.
And as you know, one of our very own Ryan Peterson, who will be ring announcing for you guys, making his return, I have heard the stories over the last year or so, and I've spoken to a lot of these guys. So, folks, definitely, I highly recommend. Are tickets still available, by the way? They
are. Well, unfortunately, we've been sold out of front row for quite a while, but so we added second row reserve. We still have some of them left, and we also have plenty of general admission.
Okay, but definitely, folks. And then where can people find tickets for that if they would like?
You can get them right from our website, mortalwrestling.com.
Okay.
Or you can go to purplepass.com/combat4.
Folks, definitely go check it out. Definitely go support Immortal Championship Wrestling. I will be there as well. So if you want to come by, say hi to me. I will. I don't bite. I promise.
Some of the fans may like that up this way.
But definitely, guys, go check it out. Mike, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Definitely want to have you on again in the future.
Oh, definitely. My pleasure. I enjoyed it.
And guys, you can catch us. You can catch this video right here on our YouTube page, or you can catch it over on our podcast side. Go to Apple, Apple, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're there. This video will be up in about a day or so. And again, thank you, Mike, so much. I appreciate it. For Mike King, I'm John. This has been a YouTube exclusive for the Around the Ropes podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next one.